I would say 95% of couples after the second and third year of marriage stop doing the fall in love habits and they stop staying in love after the honeymoon. So let me kind of explain these 4 fall in love habits. My name is Dr. Randy Schroeder, and I appreciate being able to share thoughts with you, specific words, behaviors, and guidelines that will make a difference for your life, your marriage, and your family. There are 4 foundational habits that every couple needs to have in place to keep emotionally connected, because when a couple's emotionally connected, minor irritations are annoyances. When they're not emotionally connected, minor irritations become major arguments. And these 4 foundational habits are fall in love habits before marriage. What do couples do, most couples, before marriage? Well, they look in each other's eyes for hours and they talk about their values, their interests, their Christian faith, their likes, their dislikes. They give each other meaningful hugs. One of the first most intimate moments for a couple usually is that first kiss, even if it's not a passionate kiss. And so they do hugs and kisses, and they do a lot of date your mates. You know, they do a lot of variety things and getting to know each other. Those fall in love habits need to become stay in love habits after a couple gets married. Sadly, and I don't have any scientific proof to prove this, but I would say 95% of couples after the second and third year of marriage stop doing the fall in love habits and they stop staying in love after the honeymoon. And so what becomes the norm are what I call brother-sister hug and kisses that happen at the holidays, at Thanksgiving and Christmas, where it's always a quick peck, a quick hug, and that doesn't keep a couple emotionally connected. So let me kind of explain these 4 fall in love habits. The first one, the eye-to-eye heart talk. This is just 10 minutes, not 30 minutes, not an hour, 10 minutes of purposely focused eye contact connecting with each other. There's no distractions, so the cell phone has to go to the other room. The TV has to be off. It's just husband and wife looking into each other's eyes, because the eyes are windows to the heart. And when I ask couples that come in to see me, and I've counseled well over 1,500 couples, when was the last time you spent 10 minutes looking into each other's eyes with no distractions and no problem talk? They often say, can't remember, or rarely. When there are kids in the home, if couples can do 3 days a week, maybe Saturday, Sunday, and 1 day during the week, that is terrific. I've never seen one couple with kids that could have 5 eye-to-eye heart talks a week. With the eye-to-eye heart talk, it's good to aim for 70 minutes a week, 7 days a week. But when there are kids at home, it is just unrealistic because of busy schedules for couples to do more than 3 days a week. Maybe they're going to do 10 minutes on Saturday, 10 minutes on Sunday, 10 minutes during the week. Now, couples with no kids, my wife and I can easily do a 10-minute eye-to-eye heart talk every day because we don't have any kids at home. And so that is the first foundational habit, fall in love habit, is to do the eye-to-eye heart talk. Secondly, to give each other a meaningful 10-second hug. It's interesting that in the Bible, when Jesus healed people, 22 Bible verses talk about Jesus touching people to heal them. Touch lowers our blood pressure when we shake somebody's hand. Touch keeps a marriage emotionally connected. Now, I suggest this to all husbands, and it's very important when a husband and wife do the meaningful 10-second hug, there needs to be no groping. And I've had hundreds, maybe over 1,000 wives say, Dr. Schroeder, thank you for that no groping guideline. That was one of the reasons that I hesitated to give my husband a hug, is because I felt like an object. He would want to touch the top or the bottom, and then that would cause me not to want to do it. So thanks for that. And then let me also suggest, just because that meaningful hug is there, husbands, I'm talking to you husbands, and that includes me, that hug doesn't mean it's going to lead to the bedroom. Because again, wives will say, oh my goodness, I don't want to hug if every time we hug, he thinks it's going to lead to the bedroom. And so a 10-second hug needs to happen. And then there needs to be a plain, lingering 10-second kiss for an emotional connection. This is not a passionate kiss. This is just putting the lips together for 10 seconds, but for a meaningful, lingering kiss. Now, with the 3 10s, whenever the marriage is trying to get healthier, often the husband or the wife struggle on who's going to initiate this. You know, it kind of gets into a power game. Are you going to do it? Am I going to do it? So on the even dates, I suggest that the wife initiate the 3 10s. The 10-minute eye-to-eye heart talk, the 10-second hug, the 10-second kiss. On the odd dates, since I jokingly say, you husbands don't get upset with me, that on the odd dates, since husbands are odd, my wife knows that all husbands are odd, not just joking now, guys, don't get upset, that the husbands initiate the 3 10s. Now, ideally, what we want to see happen is it becomes natural, okay? And it's just both husband and wife saying at the end of the day, by the way, let me say in the morning, there's nothing wrong with a brother-sister hug and kiss, where it's a quick peck, quick hug. You know, I'm out the door to go counsel and help people. However, even after knowing my wife nearly half a century, when I go home, my wife and I meet and greet, give each other a plain, meaningful hug, no groping for me, there's other times for that, and a plain, lingering kiss. And so that unites us, and that sets a positive tone for the whole evening. And then usually either before dinner, we'll do our 10-minute eye-to-eye heart talk. The fourth foundational habit, stay in love habit, is date your mate, date your mate, date your mate. When there's no kids at home, then that needs to happen every week. When there are children at home, couples need to shoot for twice a month for 1 hour. Just every other week having a 1-hour date. Normally, when anyone hears date your mate, we think 6 p.m. Friday, 6 p.m. Saturday. Think outside the box with Date Your Mate and do different activities to stay emotionally connected. That really makes a huge difference. I saw a couple married 20 years on a Date Your Mate, went fishing, sat in a boat for 2 hours. I'm sure the whole 2 hours, 120 minutes, they looked into each other's eyes. I'll never forget it. They came in and said, Dr. Schroeder, that is the best time we've had with each other in 10 years. And I don't know if they caught any fish, but I do know they bonded together. And so think outside the box. Another husband went and flew kites with his wife. As a girl, his wife loved to fly kites, and for 2 hours they flew kites. I also suggest that couples have an expensive date and an inexpensive date, and that they establish a maximum amount for the expensive date and a maximum amount for an inexpensive date. Because sometimes spouses will overspend. For example, if it's a couple with kids, maybe they would say the maximum amount for an expensive date is $70, and inexpensive maybe $30. They can figure $100 a month in their budget, and that includes babysitting, all expenses, so that neither one gets stressed out over how much money is going to be spent. On the way to the date, during the date, and on the way home, there's never any problem talk. Even problem talk about who's going to take the car to get the brakes fixed. It needs to be a bonding time, talking about maybe fun memories when they were dating, what they're going to do during the next week, what vacations they want to take, how are we going to celebrate our 5th year anniversary, our 10th year anniversary, our 25th year anniversary. But it just needs to be positive conversation and not any problem talk when there's a Date Your Mate. If there are, again, no kids in the home, it needs to happen every week. If there are kids in the home, it happens every other week. Husband picks first. And by the way, when it's the spouse's turn to pick the date, they pick a date that their spouse will enjoy. I can think of a couple that the husband did not like chick flicks, and he picked a date and took his wife to a chick flick movie. The wife was not real fond of baseball, but when it became her turn to pick a date, she took her husband to the baseball game. So when you pick something your spouse enjoys, that helps you feel valued and loved, and that enhances the marriage. So there's a lot more to marriage, of course. We know that, than the 4 foundational habits, 4 stay in love habits after the honeymoon. But if couples are not doing those 4, a lot of other aspects to the marriage become a struggle. We need to start there, and keep in mind, when we wash our hands, how long are we supposed to wash our hands to stay completely healthy? 20 seconds. Well, we're just saying 20 seconds of a hug and a kiss every day. And we wash our hands a minimum of 10 times a day, research has found. And so we need to take 10 minutes a day, 20 seconds a day to emotionally connect, and then do our Date Your Mate twice a month if you have kids at home, every week if you don't.